So today I'm blind tasting with my good friend Jeff Fischer. Jeff is not only the voice, but he is the inspiration of Jeff on American Dad. And he also makes Habit Wine down in Santa Barbara. So Jeff, I've known for, maybe 10 years now, but I've never blind tasted with him. Had his wine many times, drank a lot of wine with him, but never put him to the test. So today's the day.
I'm blind tasting today with Sabato Sagaria. I've known him for many years. We met in Aspen. He was at the Little Nell, which is a very famous, wine program in Aspen. And since then, he got poached by Danny Myers, who's from my hometown of St. Louis, who's a genius restaurateur. And he's one of the greatest, people in the wine world. Not only is like a human being, but he's incredibly knowledgeable. And you put him up there with the best of the best.
For my white wine, we're going to be blind tasting Jeff on an Austrian Riesling from Franz Herzberger, the 2012 Federspiel from the Wachau. I don't know if Jeff's going to get this or not. He makes Gruner Veltliner, and I thought it would be mean to pour his own wine on him. Wasn't going to pull a Dustin or anything like that. So I think when he's tasting this, I think he might take it maybe to Sauvignon Blanc, might take it to Riesling. We'll see. It'll be interesting. If nothing else, it'll be a great glass of wine to drink and see what it's all about. He might be able to get this one. Maybe he takes it to Alsace. Maybe he takes it to Sancerre. Who knows? But it'll be fun to watch him go through it. So for the red wine that I'm gonna be tasting Jeff on, we're gonna head to Spain. Tempranillo from Rioja. This is a 2010 vintage. Thought it'd be fun to show him something with some age on it. And I don't know how much Spanish wine he drinks. Maybe he takes it to Italy, maybe he takes it to Spain. But the real tell here is gonna be a wine with age. And if he gets the American oak, then it's a home run. If not, it'll be, again, fun to see him sweat a little bit. So being 2010, 10-year-old bottle of wine here, hopefully the color is something that he picks up on. Yeah, I mean, the oak is really dominant in here, minimum 5 years of aging before it's released. So this is something that has some really key markers that I hope he can see and really pick up, and hopefully you can get it. Have a space here for you.
All right, thank you.
I read your rider. We got this all taken care of here. Thanks for having me over. I really love what you've done with the place.
Isn't it nice? Yeah, I painted that myself one night.
It matches your van.
Thank you. It sure does, actually.
And I'm glad I'm wearing a shirt because my back tat matches that too. That would be really awkward. So, all right. Have you blind tasted before?
I have.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I mean, I don't do it regularly.
Okay.
But it's fun because it takes away that preconceived notion of what you're thinking. So I enjoy it, but it's not something I do often.
And how familiar are you with the wines of Georgia? Both the country and the state.
I know they use a lot of amphora,
okay,
right?
Good. Well, then you'll be fine with both.
You're talking about Atlanta, of course.
Exactly, yeah. If you're ready, just have a go at it.
Sure, okay.
All right.
I'm assuming we start with the white.
That's a good way to do it.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want. What do you smell?
Smell fruit. It smells a little round. I smell, I don't know, man. I'm wondering if I'm smelling a little bit of mallow.
What kind of fruit?
I'm getting like apple, some pear, getting a little citrus, touch of like, maybe like a little bit of pithiness on some grapefruit. Picking up a little bit of melon, actually.
What's the condition of like the fruit, like the apples and stuff?
It seems
like, is it
on the riper side? Yes, definitely.
Any oak on there that you smelled?
No. No, not too much. I didn't really notice oak.
I'm not saying there is. I just wanted
Yeah,
to.
I really didn't notice oak. I mean, my first guess, honestly, I don't know.
No, you got to get structure. I mean, you make wine.
Yeah,
Like, let's talk about some structure.
yeah, it seems it's got nice acidity, but it's not too much. You know, it's pretty. It seems a little bit down the middle, actually. You know, balance of ripeness and acid. It's not super lean. I would say it leans a little towards the more rounded. You know, not. But I'm picking up a little bit of that buttery mallow kind of thing. But you know, yeah, structure, it's nice. It's got some minerality. It has, I think the acid's like laying in there just very nicely. It's, you know, seems like it doesn't taste all steel, so I'm guessing it has some neutral French oak or maybe even some new French oak, but not overpowering. I don't think it's 100% if it is. Yeah, I mean, it's mid-weight to lighter weight, you know, it's not too heavy on the palate. You know, by the color, I'm guessing you know, it doesn't seem too old. It seems more fresh and bright, and it seems that it's not oxidized at all. It's very clean.
Do you think it's old world or new world as you're tasting through it?
You know, that's a tough one. I think yeah, it seems. My first guess, I would say it's maybe New World. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely really nice acidity up front. It sits right there on the tongue. It's one of the first things you do notice when you taste it. You know, and with that kind of acid being so bright, fresh, it kind of does seem more Old World than New World, is my guess.
You make wine.
You
make
can
wine.
get, you can get this in California and American wines. You know, you pick it early, but
What kind of climate, like if it is old world, what kind of climate do you get that from if you're looking in the old world?
yeah, I mean, it drinks. It seems like French wine to me. I would say it's either Chardonnay or Chenin.
Okay.
That's kind of my two first guesses on the wine.
So if you're at that fork in the road,
Yep.
what are your markers for Chenin? What are your markers for Chard?
You know, my markers for Chardonnay seem to be, you know, it depends, but I would say, you know, this more mouthfeel, a little more rounder, which is what I think I'm more leaning towards with this. Man, I don't know. It's a challenge. This is hard. I would say, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna guess. The nose certainly is much more floral. I mean, I'm getting a little more floral notes. Well,
Take a guess.
okay. I guess I'm gonna say it's either a young white Burgundy, or it's maybe something from the Loire, maybe Vouvray. I'd say it's probably like 2016. Because of I'm getting a little bit more roundedness on the back. I'm gonna say it's Chardonnay.
Okay, cool.
You know,
Chardonnay from Burgundy,
I would say
2016 you said?
probably 2016 Chardonnay Burgundy.
Okay.
That'd be my like loose guess. All right, now let's do
try
the red.
Yeah.
So just looking at the color, it seems like it might be a tiny bit older.
And what gives you that?
Wow. I see a little brown notes
Okay.
on the edges, right?
Good.
So a little browning, either age or, you know, a little oxidation. Whoa.
What are you getting there?
Damn, dude. I'm getting a lot of oak.
Yeah.
Big wine, a lot of wood. I mean, it smells like yeah, it smells like a wood closet, you know what I mean? I'm getting
No moths going in this closet with all that cedar.
definitely not, man. This is yeah, this is a monster. It's so different.
So as a winemaker, when you smell that, does that like it's a very different, I mean, it's not like any of your wines.
No,
Yeah.
not at all, not at all. And these are wines I kind of grew up with when I was younger. These are wines kind of I would gravitate towards, you know.
This isn't Boone's.
No,
not-
I
it's
started
not
with
that.
Boone's. Tickle Me Pink might have been the first bottle of wine I ever
Whoa,
bought.
hey, this is a PG show here.
In New Orleans.
Oh, okay, got it.
I think I was 11 years old. Yeah.
I had some Strawberry
Over the
Hill.
counter. Yeah, Strawberry Hill, like whatever. But no, this wine is smoky. It's intense. It's meaty. You know, it smells like dark fruits. You know.
What kind of dark fruits? So the red, black, blue?
I'm getting a lot of blue. A lot of blue fruit. Black fruit.
And is it dried? Is it fresh? Is it
Yeah,
cooked?
it's more
Is it
like
stewed?
tobacco leaves. It's more dried. It's but there's a little pruniness on here, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Earth in there or anything? Is it?
Yeah, yeah, a little bit, but
It's like fruit and oak that takes over on the nose.
yeah, and there's a lot of that darker fruit that's like overpowering, and plus that and that wood that I'm smelling, you know, it's
It amps up that sweetness of it.
okay. Yeah. So,
What do you, structure-wise? What do you get on structure? Like
you know, it's a little more thin than I thought. I don't taste a lot of tannin. It's actually very much softer than I was expecting.
acid.
Yes, for sure. Not overpowering, but there's a nice acid. It smells much bigger and stewier on the nose, and then on the palate, it's a little more lean and dry. And
What do you think alcohol is?
you know, my guess would be 14 or more.
Okay.
At first, I was thinking, you know, it smells like it could be some kind of American Cabernet, but it could be a really much more like it could be a Pinot from Oregon, you know, or even a Pinot from California.
Yeah.
But the wood is it's for me, the wood on the nose is throwing me because it's really strong. It's really overpowering.
So
getting a lot of,
when you it's overpowering you. So is that because there's so much new oak is on it? Is it the type of oak? Is it the size of barrel?
It's,
Like
for me, it's I feel like, and I could be totally wrong. I feel like there's a lot of new oak on it.
Okay.
You know, so maybe in time, you know, and I don't know the age of this. I mean, you know, this could be anywhere from like, I don't know, this could be 2013 or it could be 2015, but it could be 08 for all, you know, for all I'm guessing. But let's see. You know, it still tastes pretty fresh, you know, so it's probably not super old. Okay, so if I have to put a guess on this, I mean, I'm going to say it's either Oregon Pinot or it's an American Cab.
Okay.
Those are my two kind of picks. It almost tastes like Oregon Pinot.
Okay.
Maybe like a 2014 or so vintage, and you know, Willamette Valley. I guess that would be my kind of like loose call with it. But you know, I don't drink that many Oregon Pinots. It's kind of what I have in my head. I do love Oregon wines.
So maybe these wines weren't as fair as I thought they would be.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe
Am I
not,
totally
maybe
off?
not.
I don't know.
But that's the fun of blind tasting. Let's start with the white one.
Okay, cool.
Let's say it's not Chard and it's
Okay.
not Chenin.
Okay.
And I'll say
Fair enough.
and why it's not Chard. Oak.
It's a little.
There's no.
You're
not getting any oak on this wine. And if I was white Burgundy, I would think that there'd be some kind of oak on it.
Yeah.
Not getting that. So let's take Chard and Chenin out. But what are other high acid? That's the key
Sauvignon
marker on it.
Blanc.
Okay. What else? Give me two other high acid grapes that it could be. High acid whites, no oak.
So it's not Chenin, it's not Sauvignon Blanc, it's not Chardonnay.
Correct.
Okay.
So where do they get ripeness? And then I think the ripeness is hiding a lot of the acidity. And so it's sort of that put it in the balances, the yin and the yang.
Right. And it's France?
I didn't say it's France, I'm saying it's old
Okay.
world.
Yeah, old world.
A lot of places in
I
that
mean,
old
it
world.
could it be like I don't know, dude. I'm gone.
Okay.
I'm lost on this one.
All right.
Yeah.
It's Riesling.
Oh, get the fuck out. Come on, is it really?
It is. It's Austrian Riesling. 2012 Federspiel Franz Herzberger Riesling. So
That's amazing. Now I smell Riesling.
Yeah. So
I get it
it
now
has
on the
acid,
nose.
and then like.
And I smell that now on the nose. It smells like Riesling.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's a dry Riesling from Austria, and as a result, it has the ripeness and the acid, so it balances it out. Riesling, we also oftentimes think it's sweet,
right?
And so you kind of take it out of your mind when you're blind tasting. Sometimes
That's
it's
right.
like, oh, it's dry, and so dry Riesling, yes, they make it in Germany. It's more linear in my mind. Then you have Alsace, which is a little fatter, and this is sort of like the Goldilocks in between.
From the back out.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
And this is a great wine.
Yeah. I mean, great wine to sit.
And I tend to prefer dry Riesling than, you know, Rieslings with RS too much. And so this is a style that I love.
Yeah.
I don't drink often,
Right.
but it's delicious.
Yeah.
That was challenge. Wow, dude, that's awesome.
So.
Yeah, let's go with this one now.
Okay, so you're in the wrong world.
Yeah.
Wrong world, wrong grapes.
Yeah, wrong world, wrong grapes.
So let's start from the top.
Okay, let's do this again. Spain, Portugal, maybe?
I wouldn't pour Portuguese wine on you. That wouldn't be fair.
I don't know. It seems like it should be much, I don't know. I don't know. Where could I go? Italy?
One of the key markers here is the oak that you picked up on.
A lot of oak.
A lot of oak, and it's a unique expression of oak in terms of, to me, it has like the sweetness that you don't often find in other places where they use this much oak.
Yeah.
This is 2010.
Okay.
Tempranillo and Garnacha.
Great. I can't wait to
Great.
do this again tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But for me, it's like you got the color, you got the so you saw it was aged.
Yeah.
But that oak is like so dominant, and there's only, you know, I can think of maybe Aussie Shiraz, maybe.
Do they use a lot of
They use
American oak?
American oak there, and in Spain.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, the nose is so strong,
Yeah.
it's so overpowering. And yes, if you know that, I guess that leads you down to one path, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah, it's an education, man.
Sure. Hey, I'm glad I could help
No,
contribute
this
to
was
your
great.
education.
No, this
Yeah.
is great. It was super fun. I really am mad at myself that I at least didn't get the grape on the Riesling.
Yeah.
This, I was like, okay, you know, but you know,
I mean, this isn't live TV, so we can go do it again, and you can nail it.
You know,
and take
it's
it all the way
okay.
to the front door.
I'm fine with.
I want to
I'm
make you
fine
look
with,
good.
No. I'm fine with this, dude. This is real life.
Anyway, humbling.
Well, thanks. Yeah, totally, dude. Totally, man. I mean, it's a whole different thing, you know. I mean, blinding is it's an experience.
Yeah.
It's fun. But thanks, dude. That was great. So this is the white we're gonna blind him on today. It's Jackie Blow Chenin Blanc. I love Chenin, and this is a really great producer from the Loire. It's pretty dialed in and really lean and linear. He's kind of like becoming a rock star in Mont Louis, and yeah, I think it should be fun. I guess that he's gonna probably nail this as Chenin, and you know, so again, I'm not here to really stump him, but I'm curious because it is a pretty like, you know, high acid, you know, lean, you know, type of Chenin Blanc. So let's open this up and see what we think, but you know, just make sure it's drinking okay. But I would imagine that he's had this wine. This wine's pretty popular these days, and so in the States, and so I'm guessing he's probably pretty familiar with it. But let's see. It's a 2017 is the vintage on this. Yep, tastes good. Okay, and so for the red, we have a little Jamay from Côte Rôtie, 2014. And I mean, again, I'm guessing that I think he might just totally nail this one. But this is really one of my favorite Syrahs. You know, I wasn't a Syrah drinker for many, many years until I had wines like these, and then it changed everything I thought about Syrah. You know, I'd had American Syrahs for a long time, and wasn't really that into them. They were really just big and too much oak, and you drink something like this, and it's kind of like magical. And I feel like this is a Syrah that, you know, just so beautiful on the nose. There's this perfume and flower and, you know, a little spice, and I don't know, it's just a special, for me, these are both really beautiful wines, and so, I don't know, this is kind of like something, I don't drink very often. I haven't had this in a while, and somebody had brought a bottle to a dinner, so I'd found a bottle for me. So that's why we're getting to open it tonight.
So, Austrian Riesling and Rioja.
We're done.
All right.
Let's go home. Wrap it up.
I'm out.
Yep. So you know I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. You know they make wines there.
Augusta, Missouri. I think it was the first
AVA right?
Yeah, some of my favorite wines from there.
Have you had a lot of Norbert grape or whatever they call it?
No.
Yeah.
We don't talk really.
So never had them.
No.
All right, good. So these are not from my hometown.
Okay.
But they are wines that you know, I think that'll be interesting for you to go at.
Interesting is not really the word that I like to hear when I'm going into blind tasting, just to let you know. But we can work through that.
All right. So let's start with the white.
Okay.
And go ahead.
Sounds good.
And let me know what you think. Yeah.
So the first wine, it's a white wine. Looks like it has a little bit of gold to it, showing there might be some oak aging, might be some oxidation coming through there. In terms of the viscosity, we got about I'd say medium plus on the viscosity, medium plus to high. On the nose, the wine is clean. It is high intensity. It smells youthful. Fruits, getting more like tree fruits, like apples and pears, but yellow, mealy, maybe a little bit of baked characteristic coming through on it. In terms of earth, there's a little bit of wet river rock in the background. I'm not getting any real spicy characteristics to indicate that there's oak on this wine, so it might be neutral. That's kind of given that fruit that oxidative character to it. Maybe some yellow flowers, but it's kind of mild. A little honeysuckle coming through. Maybe a little like touch of like vanilla, but I think that's more from the fruit than from the oak. On the palate.
So far, it sounds like he's repeating how I started.
Mm-hmm. I'm rooting for an alternative ending on this one. On the palate, the wine is dry, high acid. The alcohol is probably about medium, maybe around like 13-ish. So the fruit is a little more. There's a little more honey character coming through on the palate. We're getting the yellow apple. There's like a lemon curd quality to it, a little lemon pith. There's baked pear. A little bit of vanilla.
Is your first guess Old World or New World on this?
Not even there yet.
Not
bro.
even there yet?
Yeah.
Wow,
Almost
still
there.
processing.
Getting some minerality. Light floral, maybe a little bit of herbaceousness, but not a whole lot. It's dominated by acid. And the ripe fruit quality to it. Okay, so I think this is an old world wine because of that acidity. There's like a mealiness that comes through. I can sometimes think of like Chenin with that, when it has that. What else could it be? Could be Riesling. Leave it at those two. I don't think it's Riesling. I'm not getting kind of the limey characteristic, and I'm getting more of the fruit there. So I'm going to call this wine a old world wine from the Loire Valley, Chenin Blanc, Vouvray Sec, say 2017. And that's just me looking at what's in the glass. Now, if you're trying to mess with me, then you might be pouring me a Chenin Blanc from
No.
habit.
No,
but I'm going
not,
to stick with my
actually.
initial one because I'm not going to play mind games with myself.
Exactly,
here, okay?
don't.
Great.
You're spot on.
And now we go to the red wine. Okay.
All right.
The second wine is a red wine. It is looks like it's kind of a dark ruby going out to a little purplish, pale purple pink rim. Looks to be a young wine. I'm seeing a little bit of staining of the tears here, not much. Viscosity is, I'm going to say it's on the higher side right now. On the nose, wine is clean, elevated floral components to it. Smells youthful. Fruits are the black fruits. So there's dark cherry, there's dark raspberry, blackberry. It's brambly, it's wild, it's kind of, there's like that green kind of characteristic to it. A little bit of pepper coming through on there. What else? There's like a stemminess to it as well. Almost like a tomato plant stem, or even just the stemminess. Flowers are kind of violet roses, both the petals and the stems, maybe a little potting soil. Smells mineral, stony minerality, dark wet earth. Oak is not a dominant factor on this wine. On the palate. When it's dry. Medium plus tannins, medium plus acid. Alcohol's medium plus. The fruits are a little more sour on the palate. Tartar, I should say, not sour, but it's like more of the underripe raspberry, underripe cherry, underripe currant coming through. Earth is like, it's almost like granitic soil, like it's a mouthful of rocks mixed in there with that wet earth, mushroomy characteristic. Getting some dried herbs, thyme, rosemary, the pepper characteristic. A little bit of spice in the background. Then there's some French oak on here, but not 100% new by any means, but I think it could be older barrels and maybe a little bit of new. What else? We got the violets, the red roses, the petals there. All right, so I think we're in the old world here. I think this is, say, Syrah, but could be Gamay. Could be Cab Franc, because there's a little bit of that like greenness in the background. I think that's probably come from stems. I think I don't think it's Cab Franc. It's not like the base that I'd get on there. Beaujolais, this has too much meatiness to it, so that's going to take me to Syrah. So I think we're Syrah from the Old World, France, Rhone Valley, and could be, it's not as like pretty as like Côte Rôtie. So I think Saint Joseph or Cornas. I'm gonna go Cornas. So Syrah from Cornas in the Rhone Valley, France, and let's say 2015 vintage.
You did good, dude.
Yeah?
That's impressive. Yeah. Yeah, you did good. I like how you got to Chenin by what you were describing and taking out the other whites based on what you were saying. Let's reveal. So the white is Jackie Blow Chenin Blanc.
Okay.
2017.
I'll take that.
Right? So I think he does this in barrel, but probably neutral, and then he ages it in some steel before it's in bottle.
Cool.
So you're pretty spot on with these. And then the red, you were close. You had mentioned it. But
you can drive there.
But you said it wasn't pretty enough. But it is Côte Rôtie.
I'll take that. Gamay Côte Rôtie 14.
Yeah. But you were right about the Syrah, and I liked how you were thinking Cab Franc for a minute, but you were like, it was more brambly and wild, and you kept picking up violets and pepper. Yeah. So I figured you were getting to Syrah.
And for me, I never like to get ahead of it. Like, even if I put my nose in there and say, I think I might know what this is. Yeah. I gotta say, hey, time out, step back. Let me go through the whole process rather than latch onto it like right on the nose. If I get the violet, like there was something very Syrah-like on here, but if I went all in on Syrah just on the nose,
Yeah.
I could have missed so much other stuff if it was something else.
And this actual wine, this Syrah, it is got some really nice acidity, and it is brambly and
Yeah.
wild. It's not really like a heavier, you know, and so, you know, it has age, but it's still drinking so young, right? And this you knew was young,
Yeah.
you know? But yeah, it was impressive, dude. Yes, take the spin, take the spin.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, man.
That was fun.
That was really amazing. That's what
Yeah.
you see when you're in an amateur versus a professional blind tasting in action.
Yeah.
That's about as good as it gets. It's like, you know, high school wrestling versus WWF right here.
Yeah.